So last time you guys saw me, or you saw me add the windows and the nesting box. So now we're gonna do the purlins. Is that the word?
Yeah, it's either purlins or purlins, I forgot.
Purlins,
The things that go
purlins.
across the top of the rafters.
Yeah. Because we need those for some reason. We don't really know, but we're gonna follow the plan.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side, our fears are done.
Actually, we have some idea. It's so that it can hang, like the roof can hang off this way on each side as well. Otherwise, it would just be the roofing material hanging off, and it's not very strong to hold up like 2 feet of snow, which is kind of what we need to plan for. So,
Right. I mean, like you can see on the rabbit hutch,
we didn't add a side at all.
we didn't do purlins or anything.
Yeah, we're learning as we go. So you lay it flat though.
Yeah.
Okay. Nate's trying to get away with not having to cut 3 inches off of each of these. Just go off of the length that they are. And I'm trying to decide what that will look like. Come down here and look at it, see what you think.
Well, I don't know if it's center.
Good. I'm sure it would be fine if you wanted to do that. That much hang off.
Yeah, that looks good.
Of course it does.
And look, you're gonna want more hang off over there when you're collecting eggs in the rain.
Yeah, we should make that one like 6 feet. We've got a plan for the rain because we get so much rain here. What?
Do you want to try to get all these staples out with pliers?
What the heck? Why do they have those on there? We should have got a discount on this board. Don't you want to do the one flush at the front first?
It's flush in the
Oh.
middle.
Oh,
What?
but it's flush with
Oh,
the
you
middle,
got
but
this
like
one?
every other piece is not flush. Which is probably just fine.
It is totally fine.
Done is better than perfect. Right, because we're just going to attach the roof to this one. It's not like it's... I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't be exposing all of our mistakes.
Why do we need pallets?
What?
Why do we need pallets?
Put the hay on so that we can make it. If they're a little in, that would probably be better than poking out.
right?
Yeah, I'd say error on the side of it. The purlin board hanging over more than.
Sorry, this ladder's
Oh.
too high for the backside.
I got you. Maybe. Do you want me to give you all of them so you can just space them all out and then drill them in at the same time?
No, I'll just drill one right here.
Okay.
4 feet in the middle, and then I'll do one here and then one there.
Are you gonna do it from up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I might want to do this from inside actually. This is hard.
While Nate's getting the last purlins on the roof, the kids and I are working on a makeshift hay holder. Right now it's in our garage and it's making a huge mess of hay everywhere in there, which doesn't bother me a ton. I just want the hay to be a lot closer to, bothers me a ton. I want the hay to be closer to the rabbits so when the kids, because they do the water, the hay, the feed, so that it'll be easier for them to just get it from the side. So I'm thinking of putting it just next to the side here. I was thinking of putting it on this side, but our compost pile is still there. So I knew that would happen. I knew the second I put that compost pile there, I would want to put something there. But that's fine. I'm just gonna make it so it can be moved. And we're just using random pieces of wood we have, and then in the future I might think up a better design, but for now I think this will make it easier for the kids. Did that work?
Yeah. Behind. Oh, this is good for like mobility and hip stuff.
There it is.
Where are you coming from? Oh.
I just want to see if it fits over there. Look out! If it'll fit on here. Oh yeah, it will. So whenever we're outside and we're working and it's a beautiful day, like I've mentioned before, we really like to give the rabbits some time to stretch their legs and play in this little cage here. This one, I think it's Glacier, and she was getting tired and maybe a little warm from the sun. It wasn't that hot, but just in case, so we decided to switch her out and pull out Panera. We do this especially with our does, just so that they get very familiar with us handling them frequently, and so that it's not harder to handle them in the future when we're breeding them and taking care of them. Okay, I made it. It's pretty thrown together, and I don't know, that might just be the most redneck thing I've ever done. But I think it's gonna work. I think if it was like perfect, it would have hinges on the top and we could lift it up to kind of shift it over. But I think it's gonna be fine, and it'll keep the hay dry. It's up off the ground and it has ventilation at the bottom. So we'll just have to pull the bales out a little bit as we need them. We'll use from the top. We'll give it a test run to see how the kids do with it. If hay gets everywhere, then we might need a new plan. But I think hay gets everywhere anyway. And that's out of our garage, which is really nice. So it's one of those things I'm like, just don't look too close, but it works. All right, it's roof time. It's roof time.
Oh, almost made it.
There's our panels. I think we have 4 or 5 panels, maybe. Then it will be. Oh, do you know what we need to do first? So, is 2x4s going down the sides to seal off the distance between the pilers.
Okay. Do we have enough scraps to do that?
Oh yeah, that one was just a little short. This is like our last 2x4. I literally used like tons of scraps to build the hay feeder. And then we forgot we had to do this part, and we had no more 2x4s left. But we are scavenging at this point, because we want to close up that space before putting the roof on. We got all excited about the roof. So Nate's measuring.
157 inches of 2x4.
We need 157 inches.
And we have 163. Yes.
Yeah, but hopefully they're like the right length.
Well, we can just.
Because you might have to cut one of those like short, and then there goes 2 inches or something.
Yeah, but then we can put like 2 pieces.
Piece it together.
In one space.
Why is this
I guess that'll work.
Okay.
That was lucky. So to show you what I'm talking about, in between each. Oh.
I missed the.
You missed. In between each of these purlins. Okay. In between each one of these purlin boards, we want to put in a 2x4 lining the side so that there's not a gap. We won't have to do that on the front because we put the 2x4 all across the front right there. So that's no gap will be there.
Yeah, that'll look good.
I think that'll be good to do.
A lot of days when Nate and I need to work on a project, homesteading related or not, we have to tag team, and sometimes just in order to make progress, one of us has to hold down the fort with the kiddos while the other is making progress on the project. So come time when we are going to paint, I will likely be the one doing a lot of the painting and Nate will be the one playing with the kids in the yard. But for now, he's doing these top boards, as we've mentioned before, and I am hanging out with the kiddos, especially when the baby's awake from his nap. He generally has a better time hanging out with mom than dad, but not always. So we just set up some chairs and celebrated each victory Nate had.
Okay, done with one side.
All right, he got those side pieces in, and now it is officially time to do the roof. So we have special roofing screws, so Nate's switching out the bit, and then we'll be putting them on. He's got to figure out how to cut the pieces. I do need to head in and start making some kind of food, but I'll head back out when I'm done.
All right, so we don't have one of them fancy saws for cutting corrugated plastic, so I'm gonna try a variety of tools. The first one is loppers. Yeah, for that I'm using a screwdriver to draw a line so that I know where to cut. Okay, so I didn't even try the loppers. Danielle said it would probably just end up a pretty big hack job, so I'm gonna go with the super shears, which I couldn't find before, but the kids told me where it was, under the couch cushions, found them. So we're gonna go ahead with that. That's what we used to cut the roof on the rabbit hutch, and it worked out pretty well. Gave us a smooth cut. It's just really slow going, so we'll see. Fun fact, these super shears are from when I sold Cutco. You might know what Cutco is. It's a multi-level marketing company. Sells knives, and it sells these scissors too. And so I got these when I was for the brief 6-week period of my life where I sold knives to all my neighbors, and I got those scissors. And they're actually pretty good scissors. They can cut through a penny as well. I've got one roof panel on, and it's getting a little chilly as that sun goes down, so I'm gonna go in, get a coat on, and come back out and cut the next panel.
Got one panel. Looks good.
Yeah, I haven't screwed it in yet.
Oh, I guess that's probably smart to lay them all out and then screw them in, or is that what your plan is?
I just set it up there just to see if it's the right length and stuff.
Ooh.
But yeah.
So most of the kids followed me into the house while I made some taco soup. I think I had it mostly going in the Instant Pot, but I just had a few things to finalize. And so they came in with me, we played a few games, and in the video you'll see them coming in and out, trickling here and there, being involved with putting up these. But I could not bring the baby back out. He kept crying anytime I brought him out, so he was just wanting to be in the house. But
No, All right, I am up here on the ladder, just finished putting on the last panel on the roof, and it's really cold. And so I'm gonna go in and eat some taco soup with the family.
We just keep having some incredible weather days, and I woke up really tired this morning, but I could not ignore this day and get nothing done today. There's a thing I can do is get started on prepping more garden rows. So I think I talked about getting a machine to do that, but actually I think if I just do like a row here and there whenever the soil is perfect and dry and beautiful, then it won't have to be this big. Then it'll get done by the time spring comes, and it doesn't have to be this huge giant day project. So I'm gonna go clear a spot and just start measuring out for another garden row.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, out of reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I become.
Okay, I just cleared the area mostly. It's not perfect, but it'll be fine. So now I'm going to use the strings and the sticks that I have used in the past to make the rows and go ahead and measure out how big the aisles are and how big the rows will be. And then what we did in the past is we just dug a little bit from the aisle and put it onto the garden row. And then I think I'll probably add some rabbit manure and then compost on there, and then the row should be done. It'd be best if I could cover the row with some type of mulch, but my experience with whenever I've tried to mulch our rows with straw or with some cover crop that I've pulled up, it just blows away. So I'm still trying to navigate how to do that and see if I can cover it without it blowing away. But there's got to be a way, right? But for now, we're just worrying about establishing this next row, one at a time, right? I thought I'd eyeball this, but I think I'm gonna get out our measuring tape. I think our aisles were about 18 inches, I think, or 24 inches, and then our rows were about 30 inches,
So it turned out that the aisles were 24 inches and the rows were 30 inches. I went back and measured some previous rows that we had made, and so I was right. 24 inches in the aisles and 30 in the row. The thing is, though, over time, some of the rows have gotten wider and some of the garden rows have gotten narrower, just with moving the soil around and replanting various garden plants. And so the rows aren't going to be perfect. It's just, I guess, to start them off in the same size at the beginning. And then as the rows evolve and change, it's kind of just whatever. It's not going to bother me a ton. If it gets really, really off, I'll probably restructure the row. But I don't know. Probably won't happen.
I got it all measured out. Now I'm gonna start digging and shoveling over. Here we go.
I ended up throwing down a little layer of rabbit manure down before putting the dirt on top of it, just so that it can have more weight, keeping it where it is and start the decomposing process a little bit sooner.
Okay, I've made it just a little bit over halfway, and I'm getting tired. And again, my back is starting to hurt just a little bit, so I always want to listen to that every single time. So I think I'm just gonna rake it over just the layer that I've done, just to smooth out some of the clumps, and then hopefully finish within the next few days. So we have our awesome neighbors. They have a tractor, and their son has come over and is helping us clear away a lot of our weeds in our backyard. So hopefully this will make it so we can have a space so that I can get more garden rows done, and then hopefully maybe get started on the pasture today, I don't know. And then we can plant, oh bless you, plant our pasture this spring. So that would be awesome. Anyway, it's a lot faster than my shovel. He just cleared that whole area in 20 minutes. That's amazing. Juniper's got a chair. Holy cow, that's so easy. The spiky bushes, they actually just come right up when they're dead. So they're all dead right now because it's winter. And like my daughter can just pull them up with a rake, super easy, my 3-year-old. So yeah, he's just scraping it up. So easy. It is so nice to be getting our yard back. Look at that, that whole corner was like untouchable. So amazing. And the garden area looks amazing too. You guys, this is great.
So he had our garden row and that back corner, which will soon be our pasture someday, all cleared out, and we had a few more minutes before we actually had to leave to head down south. And we asked him if he could also move this pile of dirt that we had, just a pile of topsoil. So he got that pile moved in 2 seconds. Would have taken us months, I swear. And he was on his way.
So today is trim day, so that means we're gonna try to put trim around the corners and around the windows, on the door, I think at the base. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on all that. So here is the door. I picked out a pattern that I want for the trim to be, and we'll go ahead and get started. We'll have the handle for the door on the left side, and then the hinges will be on the right. So when you go to walk in, you'll open the door from the left. It'll go that way. So we do not have a nail gun. I'm sure we could borrow one, but we do have a hammer and some nails. So that's the plan for now. Probably don't need my huge coat, but
Yeah.
it's not that cold.
Start cold, that's what I say.
I start warm and shed the layers. Is this gonna go through the door?
Probably. Did it?
I don't know. Yeah, these are too long. All right, we either have nails that are too short or too long. So change of plans, we're gonna wait to do the door. We'll have to pick some nails up that are just the right length, but which is fine because we can still work on trim on the coop. So we aren't totally just halted from any progress.
You hold this, or you go cut that.
I'll cut it.
So I didn't realize how satisfying trim would be getting it up on the hutch. It looks way better when you add this little detail. And so we did get this started during one of Nate's working lunches, and we kind of had a system going. We would measure out one of the boards. I would bring it back and cut it, bring it back to Nate. He would hammer it. I would measure for the next space and then bring it back out and he would hammer it. So we were able to follow this little system and it worked well. Our baby was napping, so we could do this while the other kids are playing around on this nice day,
Inside out.
and ended up getting all of the windows, the trim around all the windows done, as well as the nesting box.
So you guys, Nate went in and so we did the windows together, and then I've done all the trim around the bottoms and up the sides. So now the only place left to do the trim is up and around the door. So I like doing trim. I feel like it's something I can do. So I'm gonna go ahead, get that done. We still need to get shorter screws or nails for doing trim on the door. I also know the exact color that I want to use for painting our coop, and I'm not going to tell you yet, but it's going to be a dark coop with matching trim. Build something up there? Is something gonna fall on my head? No. Ooh, that was perfect. Alright, so we picked up some smaller nails. I got 2 sizes because I wasn't sure how big to get. So we're gonna see if we can get the trim on this door done. So we just got it all done, and we had only just enough boards left, and so we had to work with kind of a twisted board, which meant I had to hammer like 50 nails in one side to keep it in. We didn't want our nails to go too far out, but the shorter nails weren't holding it in, so I kind of had to play with that a little bit, but it's done.